in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood. Say, who are the people in your neighborhood? The people that you meet each day.
Well, welcome into episode number 5 of People in Your Neighborhood. I am your host, Johnny Keegan, and thank you so much. Big news on the People in Your Neighborhood podcast. We're going to get into that in just a second. We got a great show for you today. I am a big animal advocate, and we have the Ninjas Against Animal Cruelty coming in. I want to find out what they are all about. Julie and her daughter Raven are coming in. We're going to find out all about the ninjas and how you can help them. We also have an interview from the show Blue Bloods, and he was in that great show The Sopranos on HBO. Steve Sciarippa, I believe, I can never pronounce his name right. Sciarippa, he's the Italian guy on Blue Bloods. He plays the detective or the lawyer there. He's a great actor. We're going to chat with him too. And musical guest Brittany Cean stopping by and playing us a number. She is so damn cool and so damn talented. That's going on the show today. So the big news is now we're not only on SoundCloud, we're moving on up into the world. You can now hear all the podcasts on YouTube, and that is all thanks to one guy. He's the nicest guy you're ever going to meet. It's Jordan at Computech. Now, Computech is Watertown's lowest cost business telephone service. You can save thousands per year on your existing business telephone service while adding a bunch of new features, including a custom dial options, voicemail to email, mobile apps that work. Stop overpaying the cable company to host your telephone service. Give Computech a call today. Ask for Jordan. He's a great friend of mine. That number is 315-489-4189. So you can now hear all the podcasts of the People in Your Neighborhood, from episode 1, the comedian, to the hockey coach, to the psychic, and who else did we? Oh, the Scoutmaster are on there. And then, give a couple days later, they'll be on YouTube. We're still working on iTunes and other options so people can hear this, so we can draw more people to the People in Your Neighborhood podcast. It's a struggle to get people in. People don't know what SoundCloud is, and they couldn't figure out how to get it to work. I think everybody knows how to do YouTube, so I think this is going to help us. I hope it does, because I don't want to do this for anything. I appreciate anybody taking the time to listen. I really do. And it's so funny. It's just like when you send somebody a message like, hey, check it out. Here's my new podcast. You send them a private message, and they send back a thumbs up. That's it. And they're not listening. A thumbs up. My Aunt Lou says I'm being too mean about it, and I can't pick on people in the North Country that they don't understand SoundCloud. Well, I don't want to pick on anybody, but it is frustrating when you're pouring your heart and soul into something and you get 80 listens. Our first episode of People in Your Neighborhood podcast had 500 listens. The last one, we barely broke 100. I'm really trying here, and I just thank you so much for tuning in. Salon 109 is opening. They are open, and whether you need an updated haircut, cover up those gray hairs, or freshen up your highlights, they've got you covered. We aren't, guys, they aren't leaving you out. Stop by, get a fresh haircut and a beard trim. Salon 109 offers facials that they customize for your skin type. If you're tired of shaving, they offer a wide variety of waxing from your eyebrows down to the toes and everything in between. They're at 109 Water Street in Dexter. Call 315-918-4050 for your appointment. Take a better selfie. See a stylist. Call Janet, Megan today. Okay, do that, Janet or Megan. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I am auditioning for a play. The Little Theater Watertown is putting on a play of MASH. Not the television show with Hawkeye and Radar and Trapper. It is the movie MASH. And so you won't see some characters like Colonel Potter or Winchester in this movie that weren't in the movie. But I am auditioning for that. Number one, I love MASH. Number two, this is something I've always wanted to do. In high school, believe it or not, for a 6'5" guy, I was afraid of my own shadow. What if I act in a play? People will think I'm stupid and they'll hate me. What if I try out for the football team? I didn't do a damn thing, but, you talk to anybody I went to school with, my face was in Circus Magazine and listening to a Walkman. And that's probably why I do what I do for a living. And, but at 46 years old, I'm like, I'm going to step out of my comfort zone a little bit and audition for this play. I'll let you know how it goes. Even if I don't get a part, I'm fine with it, just to get on over there and give it a shot. I'm kind of, proud of myself. We'll see how it goes. All right. Other news, let's see. I saw the Fleetwood Mac tribute band at the Calit Theater. What a beautiful place that is. It is gorgeous. You get your chance to go to the Calit Theater in Pulaski to see anything. Oh, go for it. Their staff is amazing. You got great seats wherever you are. And the tribute bands they bring up look just like the people, sound just like the people. I mean, they look like Stevie Nicks was performing. Unbelievable. Saw a Bob Seger tribute band there a couple months ago. I do believe they have a Led Zeppelin one on the way too, Kashmir. All right, so I think we are ready to get it going here. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Tell your friends, share it on Facebook. Let's get the word out and make me want to do this podcast, okay? I've been struggling with it a lot this week. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to do it, but I do enjoy doing this, and I want people to listen. I think now, thanks to CompuTalk, Watertown's low-cost business telephone service, putting it on YouTube, I think we'll get more listens. So, again, big show. Brittany Cean's playing. We have actor Steve Sharippa from Blue Bloods, and let's talk to the Ninjas right now. It's the People in Your Neighborhood podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Here's the Ninjas. Good to have my friends from the Ninjas stop on by. Raven and Julie are our special guests. We'll talk mainly to Julie. Thank you so much for being a part of our show. Appreciate that.
Thanks for having us.
Let's get everybody familiar. I mean, I know you come in every once in a while here, but tell me about your organization and what it is and how it started.
Okay, so we started 4 years ago, Ninjas Against Animal Cruelty, and we do everything. We'll do everything from trying to take animals off the street. If we have foster homes, get them in there. We help families in need keep their pets so that they don't have to surrender them because maybe they've fallen on hard times. We have helped with animals when people had to go into the hospital, temporary deployments, things like that. We also give people an opportunity to post their own rescues on our page so that they have a safe outlet to try and rehome the animals that they're taking in independently as well. Our future, we're hoping to do some major fundraising to have a property where we can take all of these feral cats in our county and give them a safe place.
Which is a big problem in every town
it is
in
huge.
Jefferson, Lewis, St. Lawrence counties.
It is.
What made you guys decide to get together with, it was basically a group of women, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
And what made you guys, like, we have a problem, some organizations aren't doing enough. What happened there? Tell me about that.
We were always rescuing independently anyways. We're all animal lovers. And then we came together in one cause to help an animal hoarder, if you will, and get the dogs to safety. And we realized we wanted to do this. There was a gap missing that for our county at the time, there was no other rescues. The SPCA was completely overwhelmed, dog control overwhelmed. They're also sort of a Monday through Friday type of situation. So after hours, people didn't have options.
So you're like a 4 a.m. kind of,
You
people will
betcha.
call you. I
You
gotcha.
betcha, yeah.
I know you do a few fundraisers. I know you've done like some spaghetti dinners at Savory, and you have some other things going on. But you're just you're kind of like the tunes of the radio frequency. You're a small group trying to.
Our motto, we always say, we'll figure it out. You know, we act first, we think later, and this community, when it comes together, we move mountains. They are amazing. So all we have to do is let people know what we're in need of. People step up and they help.
And that's what we're going to do with our Christmas Crusade for Kids. I think we helped you out last year, and it was a huge success. It really was big. And that with our Christmas Crusade is gangbusters, but a lot of people brought in food, cat litter. Some people brought in clothes for animals,
collars,
and leashes, and
dishes,
collars, toys, and all that kind of stuff.
Some folks dedicated or donated flea meds and gift cards. So, yeah, it was great.
We want to do that all again, and we want to make that bigger than ever this year. So we're asking, what do you guys need? I mean, basically, we did mention a bunch of stuff, but really, what do you need?
Well, first of all, we're super excited to be a part of this program. What you guys do with the kids is crazy amazing. So mainly, always, folks need dog food, cat litter, especially at Christmas time when they have to, stretch that budget even thinner.
You're right.
To cover everything. So we want to help with that. But, there's also leashes, collars, cat carriers, dog crates, dishes. We take old sheets, old blankets, basically whatever.
So you want us to help with that too? We can work. I know some friends.
We never say no. Okay. We never say no because
I got some connections here at some hotels. Let's make that happen too.
The Hilton a couple times has donated old comforters to us, and we're donating them to boarding facilities. We had a great pit bull named Lennox for a while who benefited from those. So, yeah, this community is amazing.
So I think, there's basically the majority of animals in this area are cats and dogs that everybody wants. Of course, we do have turtles and parrots and all that stuff. But majority, of course, is cats and dogs. But I think, am I right in saying this? There is obviously, and we kind of talked about this just a few minutes ago, there is you do more with cats than dogs because of the feral and the breeding. I mean,
historically in this county, caring for cats was the main rescue, if you will, for cats. Specific to them, they have a sanctuary where a lot of feral cats now live out the rest of their lives. The SPCA, they do what they can, limited space.
Right.
That's it. So when cats are abandoned or left behind, law enforcement has very little backup on what to do with them. If it's a 2, 3 in the morning thing, even if it's an abuse case, where are they going to bring these animals? But now that people have thrown so many away, there's so many feral cats out there, it is really, the population is above and beyond, and we really need to start doing something with that.
What is do you know the statistic offhand, like if there is a cat that is not spayed or neutered, how many kittens? It's like in the 100.
It could
It's
be
like
thousands before the lifespan of the female is over with.
Yeah, it could be just, say for instance, it's like, what, 4 to 6 per litter?
That's a small litter.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And then how
They
many
could be
times
bigger.
a year? It could be like
Exactly.
almost like 2 times a year, and then keep
Exactly.
adding and
Every
adding.
heat, yeah.
Well, tell us, you do, and we're going to get into another topic here in just a second, but how can folks, obviously you can help us with this Christmas crusade and drop off your supplies here at the station, but you're on Facebook and that kind of thing. How can people help you just right now?
Well, we say no effort is too small. Even if they're just on our page and they share an animal in need, that's huge, because their share might be the key to finding that animal a home. But as far, we take money donations, we take the supply donations. We've had people who've had animals passed and then donated their animal supplies to us in their memory, and then we make sure they go to where they need to be. People can post on our page, or they can private message us, and we always try and make arrangements.
Through Facebook is pretty much the way you like to...
It's the easiest way to do it. There's 6 of us that pay attention to the page, so between us, we can always get back to people pretty quick.
Now, you brought some friends with you today.
We did.
And I love when folks bring in some friends. Tell us about these 3 little kitties you have here.
So our 3 little kitties, Randy, Naya, and Alexa, were born outside to a mama who was probably a thrown away and now has become fearful. So we were able to grab them.
You have to grab them real quick to make them tame, right? Or
the sooner you get a kitten, the better chance they're going to have to be rehabilitated. I really think if we could get Mama, she's very smart, she gets away from that live trap, maybe we could rehab her too. But these guys have tested for FIV once, which is a feline specific HIV, if you will, compromises their immune system. And historically, people have shied away from adopting these animals, and many organizations feel that they should be euthanized. But studies are showing that passing of it is small. So we have these 3 little babies. We're going to stick by them. We're not giving up on them, and hopefully find them the right homes. They don't need any more special care than the standard cat. They could live their entire lives.
I've kissed them. I've played with them. And
You
they're
have.
just totally normal
and
kittens.
we are going to get those cute pictures up of you.
Yeah. Now, when you adopt an animal from the ninjas, how do you go about that? Is that a costly process? Am I spending $300?
Never. We never... If it's the right home, it's not a financial thing ever. We've always had an adoption fee per se, never covers the cost of vetting. But it's per case by case. We do have an application. We do a background check as far as the vetting and landlord, because a lot of folks want a pet, but they don't check with their landlord.
Right, and then you start the process all over again.
And then we do a home visit, and then we go from there. For the right home, we'll do whatever it takes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Facebook?
Absolutely.
Ninjas Against Animal Cruelty, you can find that. And now Facebook has a way, if you post it, you can make there's a certain way you can put it on your Facebook page where people can donate to you.
Donation.
I did that the other day.
That
and
is
made
so
some money.
neat.
That's
That is
awesome.
neat. Yep. And it's a very safe way to donate, too, without what we've looked into. It's a nonprofit handling the funds distribution, so people are safe.
Anything we're forgetting to talk about?
No, we covered how amazing we are. Yeah.
There you go. Help us out with the Christmas Crusade for Kids. As Julie said, any kind of pet item. You're talking sheets and blankets, towels, cat food, cat litter, collars, dog food, leashes, anything to help out those animals in need will go to the Ninjas Against Animal Cruelty for this holiday season. It's going to be huge. And you said you're going to hopefully be able to rent a van.
We want to make a day or 2 out of it. We
And
already have our
pack.
Santa's hats ready to go. We can't wait to meet the people and see their pets, because we don't always get to see their pets, and that's what we're more excited about.
We're going to make this really big. Thank you so much, dear.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Broadcasting live from the Tunes 92.5, 104.5 studio, People in Your Neighborhood podcast. Thank you to Julie and the Watertown Ninjas and all the great work they do for animals. They're one of the most, they move mountains, and they don't get the publicity that they should have, but they're not in it for that at all, in it to help out the animals. So thank you so much. Be an advertiser on People in Your Neighborhood. Contact me at johnnykeegan@yahoo.com. That simple. And the rates are just incredibly cheap. Save yourself some advertising dollars. Advertise on People in Your Neighborhood. Email me at johnnykeegan@yahoo.com. I did my last wedding over the weekend at the Clayton Hotel, the Harbor Hotel, and it went out with a bang. I mean, I do have some weddings in December, but this was really the last of the season. It went from April to November. It just gets longer and longer every year. When I started, wedding season was basically May through September. Now it's just going on, and I love it. I love every second of it. And I don't ever want to sound ungrateful, because I do. I love all my brides and grooms. It's just a blessing that I'm really good at this, and I really like what I'm doing. But I have a 2-week break, and I am just thrilled. Over the weekend, we just cleaned the kitchen, getting some of those science projects out of the fridge and getting that coupon that expired in 2012, getting rid of the soup that is gone, that also expired. It was great to clean that up. Next week, we tackle the bedroom and get all the dust bunnies out of the way. CompuTalk, Watertown's lowest cost business telephone service. Save thousands per year on your existing business telephone service while adding a bunch of new features, including custom dial options, voicemail to email, mobile apps, the works. Stop overpaying the cable company to host your telephone service. Give CompuTalk a call today and ask for Jordan. 315-489-4189. You can hear us on SoundCloud, and I want to thank all the great couple places there. A NewsClick, News Junkie do post it on there. Thank you guys so much. The Tunes Facebook page posts it there. I post it everywhere I can just to get people to listen. But now we're on YouTube, and that'll attract some more listeners. Hopefully, we're counting on that. Another sponsor is Salon 109. They are open for business. If you need an updated haircut to cover up those gray hairs or freshen up your highlights, they've got you covered. They're on Water Street in Dexter. Call 315-918-4050 for your appointment. See Janet, see Megan, do that today. All right, so let's continue. You'll really have to listen to this interview from the dude from Blue Bloods. Now, he's an Italian guy. I figure him and Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro, they're all buddies, and they all have coffee together on Saturday mornings. It's not the case. Steve Sciarippa, who's been in a lot of great movies. Actually, he didn't star in it. He was just a guy at the bar. That's how he got to start in the movie Casino with De Niro, actually. And, of course, he's on Blue Bloods. Love the show Blue Bloods. Watch it every week. And he plays the lawyer there. And Steve Sciarippa is their special guest. We did this interview last week, but it fits right into our podcast. Here's our interview with Steve Sciarippa. Enjoy. I am so thrilled and honored to have Steve Sciarippa on the line with us right now. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us in little old Watertown, New York. I appreciate that.
Hey, Johnny, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing so cool. I'm doing so well talking to you. I am a huge fan of you, a huge, huge fan of Blue Bloods. I never miss an episode. And again, it's such an honor. Thank you. You have, to me, an interesting last name, and I want to tie that into your sauce that we're going to talk about today. And I know you're a big fan of your Italian heritage. What is the origin of your last name? I mean, obviously Italian, but what is the history? Do you know?
No, I really don't. My grandparents on my father's side were born in Calabria, Riece, Calabria, and they both come from the same small town. And believe it or not, I don't know that much. I don't know that much about it. I did one of those 23andMe's.
Mm-hmm.
One of those the ancestry thing. And,
yes.
It turns out I'm pretty much Italian and Balkan from that world. So at least it was for real. I was afraid. Who knows what I would have came out as. But. It was pretty true to what I thought, my heritage. So I just know that my grandparents on my father's side, they were born there. They came here about 1900, and they came into Ellis Island, and that's about all I know, man.
Well, family is very important to you. The Italian heritage and getting together for dinner is kind of why you created this sauce. Am I correct in saying that?
Well, yeah. I had the book, Goomba's Guide to Life. I had a Goomba series of books, and I did a movie called Nicky Deuce, based kind of on my childhood in Brooklyn. That was a movie from Nickelodeon that came out a few years ago. I think that, honestly, I think that's part of the problem here, unfortunately, in the United States. People are so busy.
Mm-hmm.
So busy paying the bills. Mother and father are both working. Kids are running around. Everybody's in a hurry. Everything's expensive, that they don't have that time to sit down during the week, one day at least, where everyone eats together. Sunday afternoon, where I growing up, it was like Thanksgiving every Sunday.
I know.
You go to my grandmother's house, and my uncles are there, and my aunts are there, and people are stopping by, and you eat at 1 o'clock, and the food just keeps coming, and then by the time they clean up and pack it away, you're ready to eat again. And that was like a whole thing you spent, from 1 o'clock in the afternoon till 8 o'clock at night there. I don't think that exists much anymore. I think that's a problem. People are too busy doing their thing. That's another thing with the sauce. You're so busy. My grandmother used to cook all day, every day. Make homemade macaroni, this and that. And that's why the sauce, this is a healthy alternative. People that can't cook all the time, if you didn't know it came out of a jar, you wouldn't know. So, I'm a big believer in that. I have 2 daughters. We get together quite often,
You can get this anywhere online or in a grocery store near you. What kind of...
you go to UncleStevesNY.com. You put in your zip code. Where you are, I'm sure we're in Stop and Shop and ShopRite and Acme and Whole Foods and all kinds of different stores, Sprouts. So if they just go to Uncle Steve's NY or Amazon, you can buy it there.
What kind of different pasta sauces do you have with this, Steve?
We got marinara, tomato, basil, and arrabbiata. 3 different kinds, all organic. The ingredients all on front of the label. It's all good stuff. All good stuff in there, man.
Well, thanks for taking the time to tell us about that. I do have the Blue Bloods question, though. I've been dying to ask.
All right.
What is the deal with your character and Donnie Wahlberg not getting along? I mean, I swear I just want to see you guys go fists. go at it.
Donnie was a boxer. He might kick my ass. I don't know. When we go head to head, we've did a few episodes together, which is very enjoyable. He's a terrific, terrific actor, and I enjoy working with him very much. I guess we just don't see eye to eye,
Well, you'd want to see.
Happens.
You want to see eyes with you, man. I was thinking about, I'm going to be interviewing you today, and I'm thinking, boy, has he been in a movie with the great Robert De Niro? And I'm like, I can't recall. And
yes, I was. I'm not a De Niro fan, by the way.
Why is that?
Just personally, I'm just not a fan of his. I'm not a fan of what he stands for. I kind of know some stuff, and I just don't think he's a good guy. He might be a great actor, but I don't think he's such a good guy. But I was in a scene with him when I first started in 1997, maybe. Casino. I got cast. It's the scene where Pesci stabs the guy with a pen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with that guy. If you put it on, I kid you not, if you put it in slow motion and turn the volume up, you could hear me yell, "Joey, look out, look out." And that's where I got my SAG card. It was Joe Pesci was in the scene, De Niro, and Frank Vincent. And that's how Frank Vincent, who just passed away, who was a terrific guy, he helped me get my SAG card. He told the AD afterwards that I had a few lines, and that's how I got my SAG card.
That was going to be my next question about Frank Vincent. What is your fondest memory of him?
Well, there, I met him, I met him before I was an actor, when I was just the entertainment director at the Riviera, and they were shooting Casino at the Riviera. That was the Tangiers in the movie Casino, and they were there for like 4 months. So they were around shooting at night, and a lot of the actors were staying there. So that's how I got to know Frank. And then when I auditioned for De Niro and Scorsese for this 2 lines, I had to audition for both of them. I walked into the room. I really had no idea the 2 of them were sitting there, And so I auditioned for them, and then we talked and blah, blah, blah. And, I got these, like, 2 Frank kept telling me, just throw anything out there, ad-lib. So that's what happened,
He's certainly going to be missed. Now, going back to Blue
Hey,
Bloods.
he's a good guy. Frank is a good guy. Iconic actor. Some great scenes, great movies, and he was a nice man. It's a shame.
Going back to Blue Bloods, and when you're on Blue Bloods, you maybe have 10 minutes of a role in that episode. How long does it take to film that and being part of that?
Well, it depends. I mean, sometimes I'm in it a lot. Sometimes I'm not. I'm a recurring character, and so I'm shooting one now I got quite a bit of stuff. I work 5 days. Some days you work 1 day. It just all depends. I mean, you can work 1 day from 7 in the morning to 7 at night, and you'll be in throughout the episode, but it's just 1 day's work. So who knows?
What do you got lined up for projects in the rest of 2017 and 2018?
I'm Blue Bloods. I signed on for this year. I signed on for 15 episodes of Blue Bloods, so that's my main gig. I'm working tomorrow. I have a scene tomorrow, and then next week I work 3 or 4 days. I have a big episode coming, and some days you're in a lot, some days you're not.
Well, I am a big.
Just the way it goes.
I'm a big fan of yours, and of course, being on the radio, I'm a huge fan of music, and so I'm very interested in Steve on what kind of music that you dig.
What do I listen to? Van Morrison, Sting, Billy Joel, that kind of stuff.
Nothing
I
wrong
like
with
Dave Matthews.
I like your type.
No, that's not so much new stuff,
Well, I'm a big fan of Van Morrison, as you said, and I swear to you, Caravan and Into the Mystic will never get old to me. I mean, is that...
No, I believe 100 years from now, he'll be one of the best songwriters ever. I mean, a magical poet, I think he's a nasty guy in real life.
I've heard that, yeah. I've heard he's not a pleasant person to be around.
Nah, he yells at people and stuff. I never met him.
What keeps
Billy Joel's a good guy. I've met him a lot of times. He's a really good guy.
What keeps you grounded, Steve? What keeps you grounded and down to earth?
Come on, what are we doing? It's not, there's people that really work hard. I mean, we're not curing cancer here. I mean, it's a job. I read I recite other people's words. I mean, that's how I look at it. I come from a blue collar. I grew up on welfare. I come from no money. I really just care about my wife and 2 kids, and I got some really close friends. The whole thing doesn't impress me that much,
You're a hell of a good guy.
It's a job to me, it's a job that I work hard at, that I love doing, but that's it. Some guys, I think, take themselves a little too serious,
You're a hell of a good guy to talk to, and I am so honored and blessed. Thank you, friend.
Thanks, Johnny. Nice talking to you, pal.
Pleasure is mine. Well, thanks for the dude from Blue Bloods, Steve Shapiro. Did you get it? He didn't like Robert De Niro? Is that crazy or what? That's just mind-blowing to me. I've decided when I come back in another life, I want to be just like musician Brittany Cean, one of our great treasures of the area. You can see Brittany all over the place, and sometimes you can see her on a boat, sometimes you can see her at a wedding, or at your favorite pub singing songs, and pay attention to her great vocal styles. Oh my God, she is so freaking talented. It's not fair. Yeah, I've decided in another life I want to be Brittany Cean. Number 1, I'd be a musician. Number 2, I'd be cool as hell. And number 3, I'd be a female. Here's Brittany Cean doing one of my favorite female artists, Susan Tedeschi. Her appearance at my radio station, Tunes 92.5, 104.5. That's where we record the People in Your Neighborhood podcast. Here is Brittany Cean on a great podcast today. Thanks to Julie from the Ninjas. Thanks to actor Steve Sharippa, and thank you to Brittany Cean for stopping by. This has been the People in Your Neighborhood podcast, and this is Brittany Cean. Play up some Susan Tedeschi. Brittany Cean is our special guest.